The same great team and service that you've always known, Ace Hardware Home Services, serving Hickory in the Catawba Valley area since 1990.
I'm Ralph Mangum with you on the WHKY News. Let's have a look now at a few of the top crime stories we had for you during the past week. That's the week of November 11th through November 15th. Here we go.
67-year-old Danny Edward Patterson and 53-year-old Shelley Renee Putnam, both of the same Lark Lane, Statesville address, along with 52-year-old Michael Joseph Frediani of Woodlawn Drive in Statesville, were all arrested by Iredell County Sheriff's officers. Patterson is charged with felony sex offender at or near a child premise. Putnam is charged with felony failure to report non-compliance of a sex offender. Frediani is charged with felony sex offender at or near a child premise. During this time of year when Halloween-themed events and fall festivals are held, the Iredell County Sheriff's Office does checks to ensure that sex offenders adhere to registry requirements. Those responsible for sex offender compliance conducted proactive checks to ensure registered offenders comply with legal restrictions during these high attendance events. On October 26th, a detective attempted a compliance check on registered sex offender Danny Edward Patterson at his residence on Lark Lane. The check was conducted due to the proximity of his home to a Halloween event held at South River Baptist Church. During the visit, an individual at Patterson's home claimed he was not present and had attended the church event. The detective immediately visited the church, notified staff, and confirmed via security footage that Patterson had indeed been on the premises. In the course of the investigation, Patterson's partner, 53-year-old Shelley Renee Putnam, repeatedly altered her account of the events, which appeared to be an attempt to mislead law enforcement. In a separate incident on November 2nd, the detective was contacted by an officer with the Department of Adult Corrections who witnessed 52-year-old Michael Joseph Frediani, another registered sex offender, was in downtown Statesville during the Statesville Pumpkin Festival. Due to his status as a sex offender, Frediani is prohibited from being present in a high-traffic area extended for families and children. Bond for Patterson was set at $10,000 secured. Putnam received a $5,000 secured bond. Frediani's bond was set at $3,500 secured. A district court date for Patterson is scheduled for November 13th. Frediani is scheduled to appear in district court November 27th, and Putnam has a district court date scheduled for December 13th. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY.
22-year-old Aliyah Nicole Williams of Stony Point was taken into custody Saturday in Alexander County. She's charged with 3 felony probation violations. Williams was placed in the Alexander County Detention Center under a $30,000 secured bond. She has a number of charges pending in Catawba, Caldwell, and Wilkes counties. She has a district court date coming up on November 14th in Lenoir on a misdemeanor larceny charge, a Superior Court appearance in Newton on December 5th on a long list of misdemeanor and felony drug charges and probation violations, and a district court date in Wilkes County on December 6th on a felony meth charge. Williams is currently serving an 18-month suspended sentence in Alexander County on drug-related offenses.
A Wilkes County resident faces stolen vehicle and drug charges in Catawba County. 51-year-old Christy Dawn McCrane of Wilkesboro was arrested Saturday by Hickory police. She's charged with felony counts of possession of a stolen motor vehicle, possession with intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver Schedule II controlled substance, along with a misdemeanor count of possession of drug paraphernalia. McCrane was incarcerated in the Catawba County Detention Facility without bond. A district court appearance was scheduled Tuesday. 33-year-old Kevin Lee Dunning of Horseshoe Bend Road in Vale was arrested Saturday by Catawba County Sheriff's officers. He's charged with trafficking, opium or heroin, possession of methamphetamine, possession of marijuana up to 1/2 ounce, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Dunning was placed in the Catawba County Detention Facility under $18,000 bond. A district court appearance was also scheduled for Tuesday.
22-year-old Brandon Michael Tompkins of Bowling Green, Kentucky, was arrested by the North Carolina State Highway Patrol yesterday on a felony warrant as a fugitive awaiting extradition to another state. He's wanted by the Sumner County Sheriff's Office in Gallatin, Tennessee, on 2 counts of continuous sexual abuse of a child, 6 counts of rape of a child, and 9 counts of aggravated sexual battery. The warrant for Tompkins' arrest was issued in July of last year. Following his arrest, Tompkins was jailed in Catawba County without bond. He was due in court this morning.
43-year-old Kelly Christine Prather of Grandview Lane in Lincolnton and 44-year-old Shantae Marie Hefner of Broome Street in Lincolnton were arrested by Lincoln County Sheriff's officers in separate cases. Prather is charged with 3 felony counts apiece of sale and delivery of Schedule II controlled substance and possession with intent to sell and deliver Schedule III controlled substance. Hefner is charged with 3 felony counts apiece of possession with intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver Schedule II controlled substance and sale and delivery of Schedule II controlled substance. In September of 2024, the Narcotics Unit received information from citizens in Lincoln County that Kelly Christine Prather was selling Suboxone strips and pills in the Lincoln County area. Based on the information, narcotics investigators began an undercover operation during which officers made purchases from the suspect. In the other case, the Narcotics Unit received information that Shantae Marie Hefner was selling methamphetamine in Lincoln County. During the investigation, undercover officers purchased meth from Hefner at her residence last Wednesday, November 6th. Both suspects were jailed in the Harvin A. Krause Detention Center following their arrests. Prather was incarcerated under $15,000 secured bond. Hefner received a $55,000 secured bond. Prather has a district court date November 26th. Hefner is scheduled to appear in district court on December 2nd. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY.
28-year-old Peyton Rose Schwantes of Stony Point has been arrested by Alexander County Sheriff's deputies and charged with felony counts of trafficking methamphetamine, maintaining a vehicle or place for a controlled substance, and possession with intent to manufacture, sell, or deliver a controlled substance. The charges are the result of a recent investigation by multiple agencies, including the Taylorsville Police Department. Schwantes is being held without bond. A district court appearance was scheduled for November 18th in Taylorsville.
A Lenoir man was arrested for felony obtaining property by false pretense. 44-year-old Anthony Lee Grindstaff of Lenoir was arrested on Saturday by Lenoir police officers. He was charged with 1 felony count, obtaining property by false pretense, and misdemeanor counts of larceny and stolen property. Grindstaff was jailed under $20,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. A district court appearance was scheduled for November 13th.
51-year-old David Grover Wilson of Smithfield Drive in Hudson and 51-year-old Darian Isaac Cozart of NC Highway 268 in Lenoir were both arrested by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers on November 13th. Wilson was charged with 4 counts of assault with a deadly weapon on a government official and possession of a firearm by a felon. Cozart faces 3 felony counts of attempted first-degree murder and 1 count of discharging a firearm within an enclosure to incite fear. Both suspects were jailed in the Caldwell County Detention Center with bond for each set at $1 million secured. Wilson was scheduled to make a first appearance in district court Wednesday in Lenoir. No court date is currently listed for Cozart. No further details are currently available. 29-year-old Israel Jonathan Wise of Pewitt Park Drive in Conover was arrested Thursday and charged with felony counts of possession of a stolen motor vehicle and fleeing to elude arrest with a motor vehicle. He was also charged with reckless driving with wanton disregard, no operator's license, injury to personal property, failure to stop at a red light, speeding, resisting arrest, felony possession of methamphetamine, and felony possession of a stolen firearm. Wise was arrested in Taylorsville following a vehicle chase that began in Catawba County. At about 7:30 Thursday morning, the Catawba County Sheriff's Office alerted the Alexander County Sheriff's Office Taylorsville Police and the North Carolina State Highway Patrol that a white Buick SUV was entering Alexander County on Highway 16. The vehicle had been reported as stolen. Taylorsville Police deployed stop sticks near the Alexander County Fairgrounds as deputies from both counties pursued the vehicle. The SUV hit the stop sticks on the passenger side, but the driver continued north toward Taylorsville until he was stopped by an Alexander County deputy. At least 2 vehicles were struck by the suspect during the chase. No injuries were reported. Wise is being held in the Catawba County Detention Facility without bond. He'll make a first appearance in District Court Friday in Newton. Wise has previous charges pending in Catawba County for felony larceny and violation of his status as an habitual felon. He was previously convicted in connection with a similar incident in Catawba County in 2022. He served 27 months in state prison for that offense. 46-year-old Antonio Darrell Sadler of Hickory was arrested by Hickory police on November 13th on felony counts of possession of cocaine, possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, and possession of a firearm by a felon. He was also charged with possession of a stolen firearm and simple possession of a Schedule VI controlled substance. Sadler is a felon as the result of multiple convictions in Catawba County dating back to 1995, the most recent in May of 2023. Following Wednesday's arrest, he was jailed in Catawba County without bond. A first appearance was scheduled on the 13th.
The suspect in this case has been behind bars on multiple occasions in recent years. 48-year-old Louis Jerome Mack of Taylorsville was arrested Monday by Alexander County Sheriff's officers. According to our news partner WHKY, he's charged with larceny and parole violation. Mack was convicted in Catawba County on May 25th of 2016 of felony counts of possession and sale of Schedule II controlled substance, larceny, and multiple counts of habitual felon, along with a misdemeanor count of possession of drug paraphernalia. Mack served an enhanced term in state prison of 9 years and 11 months due to his habitual felon status. He was released in October of last year. Mack was convicted of a violation in May of this year, and that resulted in a 3-month jail term. He was released August 11th. Following Monday's arrest, Mack was incarcerated in the Alexander County Detention Center, where he remained as of the time I'm filing this report without bond. A court date is scheduled for next Monday in Taylorsville. Reporting for WHKY News, I'm Rob Eastwood.
34-year-old Samantha Marie Vono of Hickory was sentenced yesterday to 15 years in prison, followed by 5 years under court supervision for trafficking methamphetamine. U.S. Attorney Dina J. King announced that Vono was classified as a career offender as the result of multiple prior drug trafficking convictions for processing meth with the intent to distribute it to others. Catawba County Sheriff Don Brown was among those who joined U.S. Attorney King in making the announcement. According to court documents, in December 2021, officers conducting a drug investigation in Catawba County identified Vono as a local distributor of meth. In January 2022, officers followed Vono as she went to Charlotte, where they watched as she met with her supplier at an apartment complex and then traveled back to Catawba County. Officers stopped Vono's vehicle for a traffic violation and multiple outstanding warrants. During a search of the vehicle, officers found 160 grams of meth. Vono was released on bond pending sentencing and confined to her apartment on home detention with electronic monitoring. During that time, Vono set up a robbery in her apartment with 3 other co-conspirators. One victim was shot. 2 of Vono's young children were home at the time of the incident. Officers encountered Vono as she attempted to clean up the bloody crime scene. She also attempted to obstruct the police investigation. On June 14, 2023, Vono pleaded guilty to possession with intent to distribute meth. She has a Superior Court date in Newton coming up on November 18th for possession of a firearm by a felon. Vono is in custody and will be transferred to a federal facility. U.S. Attorney King expressed her appreciation to the DEA and the Catawba County Sheriff's Office. Assistant U.S. Attorney Thomas Kent prosecuted the case.
Year-old Frederick Alvin Patterson of Lenoir was arrested on Thursday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with felony counts of possession with intent to manufacture, sell, or deliver marijuana and maintaining a vehicle or dwelling for controlled substance. Patterson was jailed in the Caldwell County Detention Center under no bond. A Superior Court appearance was scheduled for May 7th, 2025. A man charged with possession of methamphetamine, 37-year-old Colin Lee Taylor of Lenoir, was arrested on Thursday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with 3 felonies: possession of methamphetamine, possession of Schedule III controlled substance, and maintaining a vehicle or dwelling for controlled substance. Taylor was jailed under $30,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. A district court date was scheduled for November 15th.
Police responded to a reported domestic dispute, and that led to the arrest of the suspect in this case. 31-year-old Anthony Xavier McMillan of Taylorsville was arrested Wednesday by Alexander County Sheriff's officers. He's charged with possession of a weapon by a felon, felony counts of possession with intent to manufacture, sell, or deliver marijuana, maintaining a vehicle, dwelling, or place for controlled substance, and possession of methamphetamine, along with a misdemeanor count of possession of drug paraphernalia. Alexander County deputies responded to a residence in the Wittenberg community concerning an alleged domestic assault. McMillan was taken into custody and initially charged with assault on a female, assault by communicating threats, and battery of an unborn child. Officers obtained a warrant to search the home, and that resulted in the addition of the drug charges. McMillan was incarcerated in the Alexander County Detention Center in Taylorsville without bond. Following the arrest, a district court date is scheduled for Monday. Reporting from Alexander County, I'm Rob Eastwood, WHKY News.
And that's our recap of some of the crime stories we aired on the WHKY News during the week of November 11th through November 15. Look for our weekly recap every Saturday on our YouTube channel, along with all the rest of the WHKY News. I'm Ralph Mangum. Thank you all for your continued support of the WHKY News.